In this video, I'm going to build a simple game using ready-made pieces from the Media Molecule Ancient Temple kit. The kit contains scenery, music, gameplay contraptions, and a character, all in a prehistoric visual theme. Search for it in the Dreamiverse. All the elements I use can also be found in the Quick Start collection. It's the pinned collection if you search for something to stamp in assembly mode. But before I jump into the kit, I'm going to make a base for the scene in sculpt mode. Just a large flat cylinder. This is going to be water, so make it blue and give it some looseness. Now, let's go find some scenery in the Ancient Temple kit. Large rocky terrain is a nice big piece to get started with. Making a level without a character in mind can be really hard, so let's put one in before we add anything else. Kumi is the star of the Ancient Temple kit. You can also find her in the Characters collection. Having her in the scene will help us decide where to place scenery and how big to make it. Most levels have some sort of start and finish point, so block in an area for Kumi to get to. Cloning is a great way to quickly block something in. With just a few pieces, we can build a whole area. Overlap elements to create different shapes and angles. A visible goal in the distance will give players a landmark to head towards. Next, make some paths away from the starting area. The scenery should help guide the player through the level. Use repeat clones to make stepping stones or a bridge. Cloning doesn't just save time, it also keeps the thermometer down too. You can use the grid to help you build your scene, but try to avoid making anything too straight or regular. A little wonkiness will make the scene look more lived in and lifelike. And don't forget, you can change the colour of any object using the tint tool in coat mode. The water doesn't look very convincing at the moment, but we can easily add a bit of movement using the tools in effects mode. The wave and flow tools will give the flex a watery appearance. You can learn about coat, style and effects modes in the art tutorials in the Dreams workshop. Now tweak the water and turn off its collision so that Kumi can't walk on it. And just like that, we made a simple hazard for the player to avoid. But if that's Kumi's biggest obstacle, this level won't be terribly challenging. So next, I'll use the action recorder to create some environmental difficulty. The action recorder is a fun way to add animation to a level. Stamp one in the scene. Once it's recording, move some of the platforms or bridge sections around. You can animate multiple objects with one action recorder. When you're finished recording, just select the Stop Recording button. You can tweak the action recorder's playback mode to make the animations loop or ping pong. There are also some contraptions in the Ancient Temple kit that will bring some variety to the gameplay. I'm adding some fans to add some challenge and verticality to the level. Contraptions come with built-in logic and work straight out the box. But if you want, you could connect its input port to some other gadget in the scene, like a trigger zone or a button, so Kumi can switch it on. Make sure to test the strength of the fan once you stamp it, to make sure it will get Kumi to where she needs to go. Add a scene entrance and a scene exit contraption. These give the level a starting place and a completion point. If you've made a really tricky section, you could stamp in an ancient temple checkpoint contraption. The scene is looking pretty good now, but I want Kumi to have something more to do than just reach the finish. So let's add some collectibles. This contraption, the ancient temple score counter, contains logic that keeps count of how many collectibles have been picked up. Very clever. Now we'll just place some ancient temple score pickups around the level for Kumi to collect. Place some where the player can easily see them, and some in hard to reach places. You could even hide a couple. Unfortunately, you can't hide them from yourself, so it's a good idea to get a friend to playtest your scene. They'll give you a better idea of whether the collectibles are too hard to get. Finally, a little bit of wiring. Connect the complete port on the nearest score counter to the powered on input on the scene exit. By doing this, Kumi won't be able to complete the level until she's picked up all the collectibles. Before I go, a couple of finishing touches. The mood contraption changes the look of the whole level, giving it a bit more character than the default lighting in edit mode. But if that doesn't suit the style you're going for, you could add a sun and sky gadget instead. Then tweak it to get a different look. You can learn all about the sun and sky gadget in the lighting and atmosphere tutorial. Oh, I almost forgot. We need music. This track is called Ancient Temple Music, Seeker, but there's loads of music in the Dreamiverse. Stamp it anywhere to fill the whole scene with music. And there it is, a whole game level built using ready-made elements from the Ancient Temple collection. Try it yourself using any of the Media Molecule kits, or things that other dreamers have made.